Here's a summary of Joby Aviation's Q3 2025 earnings call, presented for easy reading aloud. Introduction. Welcome to Joby Aviation's third quarter 2025 conference call. Today, we'll cover the company's latest financial results and strategic advancements with Joby Aviation, founder and CEO, and Rodrigo Brumana, CFO. Key financial metrics and highlights. Revenue. Joby reported $23 million in revenue for Q3 2025. This includes $14 million from Blade's operations after its acquisition on August 29 and $9 million from other sources, primarily the completion of the Agility Prime defense contract and other engineering services. Net loss. GAAP. The company reported a GAAP net loss of $401 million, an increase of $77 million from Q2. This was largely due to $262 million in non-cash items, notably a $229 million non-cash charge related to the revaluation of warrants and earn-out shares, driven by an increase in share price. Adjusted EBITDA. Non-GAAP adjusted EBITDA was a loss of $133 million, a slight increase of $1 million from the prior quarter, reflecting the Q3 revenue offset by increased spending. This is a $12 million higher loss compared to the same period last year, attributed to team growth for aircraft development and early commercialization investments. Cash position. Joby ended the quarter with approximately $978 million in cash and short-term investments. This was further strengthened in October with net proceeds of about $576 million from an equity offering, providing significant financial runway. Use of cash. The company used $147 million in cash, cash equivalents, and short-term investments during Q3, $35 million higher than Q2. This increase was attributed to an extra payroll run, operating expense growth, working capital changes, and $6 million in one-time costs related to the Blade acquisition. Approximately $30 million was spent on property and equipment. Joby remains on track to meet its full-year 2025 guidance for cash usage, at the upper end of $500 million to $540 million. CEO's key statements. Joby Aviation highlighted several monumental achievements and strategic advancements. Certification milestone. The most significant news is the commencement of power-on testing for the first of several aircraft designated for Type Inspection Authorization (TIA). Joby emphasized that TIA marks the final stage of certification, a strong indicator of achieving type certification, and represents the convergence of their certification strategy, stable design, and manufacturing processes. Aircraft maturity and demonstration. The company demonstrated remarkable flight testing cadence, including climbing, descending, accelerating, and decelerating at max rates, as well as completing its first A-to-B mission and a 20-minute flight demonstration at the California International Air Show. They also conducted 2 weeks of regularly scheduled flights in Osaka, Japan, for the World Expo, showcasing the aircraft to hundreds of thousands, including the Japanese Prime Minister. Commercial operations and partnerships. Joby successfully provided air taxi services for Ryder Cup fans via their Blade service, replacing long drives with short flights. They are also well positioned for the U.S. government's eVTOL Empowered Flight program, which aims to enable operations ahead of full FAA certification. Joby is in advanced conversations with state and local entities applying for this program. Manufacturing scale and Toyota partnership. Demand is accelerating, requiring intensified production. Joby has produced 15 times more FAA-conforming parts in Marina, California, in 2025 year-to-date than in all of 2024. They have also begun producing propeller blades at their Dayton, Ohio facility, a key part of their strategy to perfect processes in California before scaling with Toyota. Joby reiterated the vital importance and strength of their partnership with Toyota. Technological innovation, hydrogen flight. The company continues to explore hydrogen propulsion, having flown a 561-mile flight with water as the only byproduct, positioning Joby at the forefront of hydrogen aviation. Turbine electric variant for defense. In collaboration with L3 Harris, Joby is ground testing a turbine electric variant for defense use cases, with flight testing imminent. This leverages their vertically integrated approach for rapid development and deployment. Autonomy and NVIDIA partnership. Joby is a launch partner for NVIDIA's IGX Thor platform, integrating advanced compute for a more performant and safe autonomy stack. They are making significant strides in autonomous flight, demonstrated by over 7,000 miles of autonomous operations in a recent Department of War exercise using a conventional aircraft. This technology is set to be deployed on their defense-focused aircraft and will feed into their commercial autonomy stack. CFO's key statements. Rodrigo Brumana provided a detailed financial overview and operational updates. Financial discipline and scaling. He highlighted three key focus areas: implementing a disciplined capital strategy, methodical scaling, and translating technical/regulatory progress into long-term value. Blade acquisition integration. The acquisition of Blade is progressing well, with its operations now included in the financial results and contributing to building a global network. Pilot training and global network. Joby has formally accepted its first flight simulator from CAE in Montreal, a crucial step for commercial pilot training and preparing for scaled operations, starting with Dubai next year and expanding globally. Uber partnership expansion. The partnership with Uber has been expanded to include Blade services, offering potential access to thousands of daily Uber users for vertical lift experiences ahead of Joby's commercial launch. Q3 financials recap. He reiterated the strong cash position, revenue breakdown, and net loss, emphasizing the significant non-cash charge related to warrant revaluation. He also confirmed that they are on track to meet their full-year cash usage guidance. Future outlook and forecasts. EIPP program. The EIPP program is seen as pulling early demand forward, with operations expected to begin in mid-2026 following a down selection process early next year. This necessitates accelerating production. International operations. Dubai. Joby is making tremendous progress in Dubai and expects to be operational there before receiving FAA type certification. They anticipate an increase in flights throughout 2026 as more takeoff and landing locations are introduced. Blade revenue. No specific guidance was provided for Q4 or next year's Blade revenue. However, the company is not deviating from publicly stated figures prior to the acquisition. Q4 is noted as a slower season for Blade operations. Rob Wiesenthal highlighted the successful expansion of Blade services, including a new commuter route from Westchester to Manhattan, demonstrating potential for profitable growth and customer acquisition. Certification timeline. While a general rule of thumb suggests 1 to 1.5 years from TIA flight testing to full certification, Joby is employing a strategy with 5 aircraft in parallel to expedite the process. The exact timing of FAA pilot involvement is being synchronized with their internal testing and FAA availability. Significant risk factors. FAA shutdown. The ongoing FAA shutdown presents some uncertainty regarding the timing of FAA piloted flight testing, though the company has seen a strong lean-in from the agency so far. Manufacturing scale. The primary challenge for meeting accelerated demand is the rapid scaling of manufacturing capacity. Regulatory hurdles. While progress is being made, the certification process remains complex and subject to regulatory approvals. Technological development. Continued advancements in autonomy and other technologies are critical for future offerings, and any delays could impact deployment timelines. Lowlights. Increased net loss. The GAAP net loss increased compared to the previous quarter, primarily driven by non-cash charges. Uncertainty from FAA shutdown. The ongoing FAA shutdown introduces a layer of uncertainty into the timing of critical certification milestones. Most important statements. Joby Aviation, CO. We have now begun power-on testing of the first of several aircraft we will build for TIA or Type Inspection Authorization. Entering TIA is widely understood as marking the final stage of the certification process and is a very strong indicator of a company's ability to reach type certification. He also emphasized, our approach to vertical integration puts us in a unique position to move from concept to demonstration and from demonstration to deployment at a pace that's almost unheard of in today's aerospace industry. Rodrigo Brumana, CFO. At the end of the quarter, we had approximately $978 million in cash and short-term investments. In October, we added net proceeds of approximately $576 million, further strengthening our position. This gives us the financial strength to continue to lead the industry and bring new innovations to markets across the globe. In summary, Joby Aviation is making significant strides in aircraft development and certification, highlighted by the commencement of TIA testing. Their strong financial position, strategic partnerships, and relentless focus on innovation, particularly in autonomy and sustainable aviation, position them well to capture future market opportunities, including early operations through programs like EIPP.